in the wave of culture wars, in the wave of people getting triggered, I guess South Park, Trump said South Park wasn't relevant. Well, you know what? He's wrong because apparently Kristi Noem, I guess she's rolling with the punches. And hopefully nothing happens to her face. And if you see a dog, tell that dog to run. Bark, bark. But yeah, so we all know what happened. There was a South Park episode that had to deal with ice. And there was, Mr. Mackey and Clyde. They had their own little subplot about trying to get their nut, Mr. Mackey was let go from, I know, spoiler alert. Mr. Mackey was let go. He couldn't be a student counselor. And of course, Clyde was competing with Cartman in regards towards who could be the master debater. See, now, I never really got involved in that debate me, bro kind of wave that was going on. I thought it was like pointless, but whatever. I guess anything for clicks and views. But yes, and they both ended up on Mar-a-Lago, which shockingly, controversially, looked like an island that was owned by a guy named Epstein. But I'm just saying. So anyways, Kristi Noem, if you see a dog right next to her, you need to run, boy, run. All right. Ice invaded heaven. So let's talk a little bit more about it. What's going on here? So Homeland, by Kristi Noem, actually had some words to say about this. So Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has blasted South Park creators as lazy and petty after the show cruelly mocked her appearance, depicting her as vain, Botox bimbo. It was all right. It never ends, but it's so lazy to constantly make fun of women for how they look. Noem 53 told Glenn Beck on his podcast, it's always the liberals and the extremists who do that. Excuse me. It's also conservatives too, okay? If they wanted to criticize my job, go ahead and do that. But clearly they can't. They just pick on something petty like that. I think that they were more picking on the fact that you were rounding up any if it's brown, it goes down. And if it's a dog, say good night. All right, so there you go. Jenny Lynn, she chose to look that way. Lady Alex, Border Barbie. Whoa! Lady Alex, Jenny Lynn, where'd you learn to be this mean? What's going on with my audience? What's going on here? Kristi Noem shot down crypto. Yeah, she had those kryptonite bullets, okay? She had them green rocks. Let's see. J.D. Vance's Tato. Yes. The plane. Mastermind Hour just making my nut. There you go. What else we got here? Hold on. My audience is being too mean here. All right. My audience being way too mean. All right. And Bill Bobby. She shot her goat too. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, indeed. Absolutely. My audience is way, way, way too brutal. Noem admitted that she hadn't watched the latest episode in which she's portrayed as a glammed up ICE agent who loves Botox, kills puppies, and arrests anyone who's Hispanic. Well, I mean, if the boot fits, don't acquit. Anyways, hold on. Come on. We got to be a little bit nicer here. She said she was too busy going over budget numbers and stuff. It comes after the White House ripped South Park as irrelevant and accused the show's creators of desperately seeking attention following a spat of recent episodes that roasted President Trump and his administration. Come on, guys, relax. Relax, guy. The day before Gnome episode aired, Homeland Security used an image from the show to advertise its ICE recruitment drive. And there's Mr. Mackey. I'm just trying to make my nut. I actually like how he tried to get, like, him and Clyde had to escape from the boat, escape from Mar-a-Lago. I know, spoiler alert. We want to thank South Park for drawing attention to ICE law enforcement recruitment. We're calling on patriotic Americans to help us remove murderers, gang members, PDF files, and other violent criminals from our country. You mean Congress? Hey, wait a minute. We might get this whole thing wrong. Let me read this again. Hold on. We want to thank South Park for drawing attention to ICE law enforcement recruitment. We're calling on patriotic Americans to help us remove murderers, gang members, PDF files, and other violent criminals from our country. Is ICE going to deport Congress? We did it. I made a joke. I could do some stand-up comedy. Actually, you know what? I might as well do some stand-up comedy. Yes. Yes, I hope somebody clipped that. That'd be great. It'd be beautiful. If somebody clipped that, put it like in vertical form so I could use that as a YouTube short. I would love it. And I would title it, Kit Was Wrong About Ice. Let's join. Boom. Boom. Apparently, Jenny Lynn didn't find it funny. I'm sorry, Jenny. I'm sorry. Benefits available to new ICE recruits include an up to $50,000 signing bonus, student loan forgiveness, and retirement benefits. Jesus Christ, that's what's going to happen. That's the only way. It's the only way that student loan debt will be forgiven. You got to boot up and suit up and go ahead and arrest some brown people. That's all you got to do, apparently, right? Now, of course, you know, there's a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people are actually, making fun, or either that trying to deflect a little, because let me be clear, okay? I think South Park is doing its job. Making fun of people on the left and the right. I think, I would have liked it if they made fun of Biden a little bit more. If they decided to go after Biden just a little bit more, I mean, I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay with that if they went after Biden. But can't get what you want. I want to play this video here. Just play a little short video of it.
I love that Charlie Kirk is trying so hard to be in on the joke in this South Park episode. I don't think you understand what this is. This is not a friendly roast between friends. They are making fun of you because you are a hack, morally contemptuous loser. It's very much giving like this meme.
No. Charlie Kirk is not at all upset about the South Park episode. Not even a little bit. He thought it was so funny that he's selling this super cool Master Debater shirt on his website.
And look, if he's going to roll with it, he's going to make money. So this is a collage of liberals trying to say, ha, we're making fun of you. You don't roll with it. Look, if you get roasted by South Park, actually, it's kind of an honor. It really depends on the roast, though.
Because the show's so cool and he's cool and it's so funny. He thinks South Park is so funny and he's so funny too. And he's so glad that he was in on the joke the whole time.
But seriously, Dan, if somebody does buy that joke from Charlie, that shirt from Charlie Kirk, yeah, that's kind of stupid. Look, you can make your own Master Debater shirt. In fact, you and my audience, all of you can be Master Debaters in your own way.
So who's going to be the one to tell Charlie Kirk that we're laughing at him, not with him? Because for the last day, he's making it seem like he's in on the joke. Charlie, you are the joke.
So Charlie Kirk is so deeply...
So anyways, it's a little bit more of this of liberals were saying, like, Charlie Kirk, listen, my criticism towards Charlie Kirk is this. Let's talk about the Epstein files. I want to talk about the Epstein files still some more. I want to keep on talking about those Epstein files. Where are the Epstein files? Where are they? Give them to us now. We want to talk about it. And just because, look, there's a lot of right-wing, listen, there's a lot of people who got all the figgy pudding sitting on the golden thrones of influence and all of that. And they're saying, we don't want to talk about it anymore. We don't want to talk about it. Again, it's just that. Just a little more.
Upset by the fact that South Park made fun of him last night in their new episode, that he spent so much time talking about it on his new podcast. He tried to pretend like he thought it was so funny and that it was such an honor to be made fun of by South Park. He even made his new profile picture his South Park character. But the reality is they weren't just laughing with him. They were laughing at him.
The South Park is...
Okay, there you go. Okay, that was a crazy unhinged liberal. Okay, I forgot how crazy people are when they're trying to say, they're making fun of you. Shut up. Yes, all right, whatever. Look, Charlie Kirk and Kristi Noem, if they're going to be rolling with the joke, fine. I think it's hilarious that Kristi Noem actually gave her character the red eyes. So there you go. Look, people are free to do whatever they want. It is what it is. South Park challenging the system as is and the powers that be and making satire everything fine. There are things that I feel like they could have dropped the ball on, but hey, look, I'm not in charge of a multi-billion-dollar yeah, I think South Park is now $1 billion intellectual property, so more power to them. And everyone, listen, if you are in a position of power or of influence, if you are an actor or an actress, if you are someone of high society or of high influence, you're going to be ridiculed. Okay? And in antiquity, in ancient times, you'd have a jester, a court jester, who would use wit and humor to remind people that the high lords and ladies, the kings and queens, were human too, but they had that talent. It's comedy. And not to mention, look, we see enough of it on X, where we see even people ridicule and make fun of each other. Whatever. I would have preferred to see in a South Park episode of Biden being mocked, though. That would have been funny.